I can't believe it, folks. This is Thanksgiving week. We are almost done with the Bible, and today we are in the book of James. Folks, this is good stuff, and I got to tell you, before I start this review, I'm very, very proud of you. This is awesome stuff. All right, let's get into it. James writes an incredible letter. And in this letter, it is absolutely astounding what he does for us as believers. Now, I want to simply say this because it's really important. The James that we are talking about here, which, by the way, have I told you I really love that name? The James that we are talking about here is James, the brother of Jesus. Now, we know of two other Jameses in the Bible, and these are Jameses that are the apostles, but they are not the person we are talking about here. This is indeed the brother of Jesus. Now, this is really astounding because the brother of Jesus is acknowledging that he is God. I mean, think about how incredible that is, that Jesus is God, of course. This is some pretty substantial and powerful stuff. Now, the story of James is one that is absolutely unique because right before the temple is destroyed by Titus in 70 AD, that's when we believe James is actually executed. Now, when this happens, it's really amazing because the story is he is asked to declare that Jesus is a fake, in essence. And of course, I'm using more modern day terminology. And James responds by yelling out to everybody, Jesus is Lord and he's coming to judge. So the way that they killed him is terrible. It's not anything I actually want to repeat here because it really is ugly and graphic. But it is interesting to see how God used this incredible man to not only impart radical wisdom to the people that he spoke to, but to live a remarkable example for a person who is dedicated and radically sold out to the Lord. Now, James covers a bunch of amazing stuff, and perhaps one of the things that I should speak about when I talk about this book is that it is, in essence, the Proverbs of the New Testament. In other words, the things that you read about in the book of James are going to be a whole series of really powerful insights that can be lined up by just single sentences. And I'm telling you this right now, if you are looking to read something in the New Testament every single day, you should always read a portion of James because James gives all kinds of radical and amazing insight. So he starts off this letter by, in essence, telling us who he's writing to. And of course, he's writing to those of us that are seeking the Lord, right? Those of us that are believers. And he says some very interesting things right off the bat. In the very beginning of his discussion with us, he tells us to understand that it should be joy when we go through trials. Now, this is not him saying, listen, you need to be somebody who's excited when bad things happen to you. He's actually saying, be excited because when you hit the fast forward button, after that's all over, it's going to be used for substantial and radical things in your life. And if you are going through a difficult time in your life right now, James is an absolutely incredible book to be going through. Now, in this same chapter, chapter 1, he also talks about what pure religion is, and he gets into all kinds of pretty amazing things, like what to do when you're confronted with temptation, the issue of the struggles that come up with riches, how to deal with other people in terms of what real favoritism should look like and what it means to be able to control and use your tongue. He talks about the idea of faith and works. Remember, we talked about the idea of faith and works, and if you have faith but you don't show works, it's actually dead. He gives us all kinds of other wisdom and shows us what wisdom actually looks like. And he even warns us against the mindset of being worldly, right? And what happens when you have a worldly mind. And then I think perhaps one of my favorite sections in James is in chapter 5, where he talks to us about learning to be patient and utilizing prayer as a tool to continue to develop our own growth. And it is really remarkable, folks. You are going to absolutely love this. Now, what I'm asking you to do, especially in this book right here, are identify at least 3 things in each chapter that is designed for your spiritual growth. By the way, James provides at least 7 in the chapter that gives us the least amount of information, and there's a lot more in many other chapters, but I want you to look for 3, and here's a hint. A big, massive part of this deals with the element of self-control being given to us by the fact that the Spirit of God lives inside of us. So A lot of great stuff here, folks. You are going to love this. Consider James to be the gateway into the next letters that we read, especially as we get closer and closer to the book of Jude and into Revelation. You're going to love this. It's awesome stuff. Enjoy the Proverbs of the New Testament. All right? Love you guys. Talk to you on the next one.